Is this going to be the beginning of this major parabolic run towards the upside for Bitcoin and also the altcoins? We're going to look at the charts of Bitcoin because in the previous video I told you the levels that are going to be extremely important on the weekly, daily and also 4-hour chart to stay bullish within this major consolidation phase. So if you want to find out what we could expect for Bitcoin and which top 3 altcoins you should hold, watch the video until the end, smash up the like button and subscribe, and welcome back to B4Crypto. And yes guys, we're going to directly start with today's content on the weekly chart for Bitcoin, and we can perfectly see, like I told you in the previous video, that we are holding the 13 moving average, which gives us the indication, are we still in a bullish trend or are we in a bearish trend, and could we expect a retracement and a consolidation underneath the 13 moving average? And yes guys, this is extremely bullish that the weekly candle closed back above this very important level, which was exactly at the level of $61,300, and we closed a weekly candle back above this line. And ultimately guys, this is extremely bullish and we could expect this continuation all the way back up to the 23.6 after we close the weekly candle back above this major important level. So yes, on the weekly chart, this is our bullish price target, the first bullish price target being the 38.2, exactly at the level of round about $65,000. But guys, we need to analyze the market because yes, like I told you, that this is going to be the wrong place to turn bearish exactly here, because ultimately we are in this major accumulation phase for Bitcoin. And yes, the market makers, the huge whales and also the institutions, they know that a lot of people turn bearish and sell the cryptocurrencies exactly here, and this is ultimately a major accumulation phase before we could expect this major leg towards the upside. And yes guys, we're going to go on the daily chart. Because yes, on the daily chart I told you the most important level is going to be the 100 moving average, which perfectly lines up with the 23.6 Fibonacci retracement level exactly at the levels of $60,500, forming this higher low for Bitcoin. And I told you exactly here that this is still extremely bullish, because if we're keeping this upwards momentum, which we did by confirming this lower high, this gives us ultimately the indication that yes, we could expect, if we're going to break the 38.2, that we're going to come all the way back up into this major resistance zone. First of all the way at this major resistance level at the $65,600, and ultimately yes, the point of control, the 61.8, exactly here at the $67,200. And ultimately guys, if we're going to stay underneath this level, come all the way back up, guys, this is going to tell me that yes, we're going to retest these levels before we're going to see the ultimate breakout. But yes, ultimately if we're going to break this very important level, guys, we could expect this major parabolic run towards the upside, breaking the previous all-time high exactly at the levels of $73,000. And yes, I told you all along that we could expect this boring sideways move and this consolidation phase for Bitcoin, and you're not going to catch the absolute bottom, because a lot of influencers turned extremely bearish and they're still calling for lower numbers guys. And yes, like I told you, don't get scared out of the market, because ultimately this is a major accumulation phase. So let's go over to the next chart, because Rect Capital posted this over on X, and as we can see in the bull run 2016, exactly at the Bitcoin halving, we saw this high before the Bitcoin halving exactly here. We saw this consolidation exactly at the halving, came all the way back down, and then we saw this major consolidation phase and this major accumulation phase. And yes, I could bet a lot of people were extremely bearish exactly here, calling for lower levels exactly at the previous range. But yes, we saw this continuation exactly from this low. And yes, at the moment we can see that the price movement of Bitcoin in the year 2024 had this high before the Bitcoin halving, so this consolidation phase during the halving, which I told you exactly in these levels. And yes guys, we are at the moment exactly at the low, and that is also exactly what I told you guys, we are at the range low, so this is not the right time to turn bearish. So let's go down on the even lower time frames before we're going to look at the top 3 altcoins that you should hold in your portfolio. But remember, if you want to trade all of these moves, go down in the video description below and sign up with these links where you receive a major deposit bonus. So yes, on the 4-hour chart we saw this major pump towards the upside, bouncing exactly from the 50% level. And yes guys, then we saw this sharp correction all the way back down, and exactly in these levels I uploaded the previous video where I told you that we are seeing this correction all the way back down to the 61.8, and this is just a major manipulation to scare you out of the market. And yes, this was again exactly as predicted. We saw this perfect consolidation over the weekend exactly above the 61.8 and within this golden ratio. And yes, on the higher time frames we can see this yellow box being also the 61.8, the golden ratio, and at the moment this is extremely bullish that the price movement came all the way back up to the 23.6, all the way from the previous low all the way to the swing high exactly here at 65,000 US dollars. We got this rejection perfectly lining up with the 23.6 staying underneath the 200 moving average, but as we can see we saw this retest exactly here at the 200 moving average on the 4-hour chart, and we got this rejection all the way back down to the 100 moving average. So yes, I could expect this accumulation phase forming higher lows for Bitcoin before we're going to break this very important level. And yes guys, this is going to be a major leg up if we're going to break the 23.6 Fibonacci retracement level on the 4-hour chart, this downward sloping trend, and also the 200 moving average exactly here. This would bring us up immediately all the way to the swing high to 65,000 US dollars, but ultimately the next major level is going to be the $67,124. If we're going to break this towards the upside, guys, the sky's the limit and we're going to break the previous highs, or at least come all the way back up to the range high being exactly the 73,000 US dollars. So let's go over directly to the altcoins, but before we're going to look at this major chart which gives us information when we could expect this major leg for the altcoins. So yes, we're going to look at the altcoin cycle in the year 2021 and the total crypto market excluding Bitcoin and also Ethereum, where we can see we had the previous all-time high and then we had this downward sloping trend coming all the way back down to the bottom. Then we saw this major accumulation phase during the bear market, but ultimately guys, we formed a higher high and also a higher low exactly here, saw this consolidation. So exactly here we saw this major push towards the upside in the year 2021 and this major altcoin pump coming all the way back up to this range from the previous all-time high. But yes, the major move only started exactly in these levels where we broke this higher high exactly here. And we had this major parabolic run towards the upside all the way to the top. And yes guys, in the year 2024 we saw the same scenario. We came all the way back down, forming the bottom exactly here. We had the accumulation phase, the breakout, and we came all the way up to the higher high, and now we're getting this first rejection and this consolidation phase forming a higher low exactly in these levels. And yes, this is going to be your last opportunity to get in before we're going to get this major leg towards the upside. We once again saw this accumulation, but once we broke this level towards the upside, we saw this major pump towards the upside and this major altcoin season. And this is exactly why I'm telling you guys, this is the major opportunity above the 13 moving average for the overall crypto market, because yes, in the previous cycle, we saw this consolidation exactly at the Bitcoin halving for the overall crypto market exactly here. And then we started this parabolic run towards the upside. And yes, guys, this is the moment where a lot of people exit the market. But yes, this gives you the golden opportunity to dollar cost average into all of these projects. So we're going to look at the top 3 altcoins that you should accumulate exactly now. So let's go over to the first coin, which is going to be Render. And yes, I told you exactly in these levels in the previous videos that this is a great accumulation phase. Did you accumulate exactly here? Where I told you we are perfectly finding support above the 88.6 and also the 78.6. So yes, you would have been up 58% in this major consolidation phase by just buying exactly here where there's a lot of fear in the market. But if you missed to buy exactly here guys, dollar cost average, because we could expect a major move towards the upside, yes, my predictions for Render is going to be a conservative price target all the way at the 37 US dollars. But guys, we could also go as high as all the way up to the $100 level, being a strong narrative within this bull market. So yes, I would still invest in Render exactly in these levels before we're going to break the previous high and ultimately see this major parabolic run towards the upside. So let's go over to the next coin, which is going to be GRT. And if you would have been subscribed to my channel in the bear market, you would have got this entry exactly here, where I told you to buy Render exactly in these levels, where we formed this downward sloping trend and formed this perfect double bottom and this major W exactly in these levels. Yes guys, we saw this major pump towards the upside exactly from this entry all the way to the swing high. This was a pump of 400%. And ultimately guys, I told you we're bouncing off exactly from these levels. The 50 moving average exactly here and also this upward sloping trend. So ultimately guys, if we're going to break the 13 moving average, we could expect this fast move towards the upside, just all the way to the previous high. This would be a pump of, yes, 69% in the immediate short term, but ultimately guys, if we're going to break out from this major trend that we are forming, we could expect this major pump all the way up to the major levels, yes, the previous highs, or at least the 61.8. So if you're going to buy exactly here, all the way to the conservative price target, this is still going to be a pump of 500% that you can profit on. So yes guys, make sure to subscribe, activate the bell. So let's go over to the next coin, which is going to be NEAR. And yes, we can see for NEAR, we saw this perfect accumulation and this consolidation back above the 13 moving average and also the 23.6 Fibonacci retracement level, all the way from the previous high all the way to the bottom. And yes guys, the next major level is going to be the 61.8, exactly at the levels of $13. So yes, if we're going to buy NEAR exactly here, just to a conservative price target being the 61.8, this is going to be a move of 79% that you can profit on by buying NEAR exactly here, because ultimately guys, we could expect this pump at least all the way to the previous highs. This would be a percentage gain of 180%, but the sky's the limit because you're still extremely early within this crypto market. So yes guys, dollar cost average into all of these projects and make sure to be subscribed, because ultimately guys, I could expect that Bitcoin is going to consolidate exactly here underneath the 200 moving average being the 63,000 US dollars, and also this major range exactly here forming a higher low, bouncing off once again from this major level, and that we could expect this continuation at least for the first price target all the way at 64,000 US dollars. And yes guys, please support this channel by smashing up the like button and subscribe, leave a comment, be for crypto, and we see each other in the next video.